and welcome to Science Friday. We're going to do some great experiments. We got that awesome science kit and never got a chance to use it, so we're going to start in here. I do want to show you some video just so you can see how the chick eggs are doing in our incubator over there, but I think that's probably going to be best doing it on my phone. So I'll send a short clip video so you can see how they're doing via your mom's text or email, so that we're not hogging up all the space on, trying to carry my laptop over there and breaking it and, all that stuff. So before we begin, we're going to talk about the scientific method. This is the method that we're using all year, of course, when we're doing a science experiment. And if you can see here, I'll give this a little tip. There you go. That should be a little better. Scientific method starts with a question. Then you research the subject, make your hypothesis. A hypothesis is a guess based on what you know or what you think is going to happen. When we do prediction in reading, this is the same thing. You're making a guess. You're saying, based on the information I have, I think this might be what will happen. Then you do your experiment, and then you look at the results. Sometimes you may need to do your experiment again and research the subject again. You make a conclusion. You can test you're going back to look at your hypothesis and say, yeah, I think that was right. I think that was spot on. And then you report your results. Now, for reporting our results today, we're just going to use a piece of paper. You can use the back of one of your worksheets. You can use a blank paper. It doesn't matter to me at all. But these are some things that we need to have, although this lesson is not on a specific piece of paper. There's not a specific paper for it. I do need it. I do need to see that you watched it. So I'm going to write a piece of paper on a piece of paper. Science experiment. And sometimes when you're not sure how to spell something, always check. Even when you think you know, doesn't ever hurt to check. So just like we do in the classroom, I'm going to look back. That's an awfully big word. I'm going to look back to make sure I got it right. Google's great for asking that. So ask Google if you need it. For our science experiment today, the experiment is called Fizzing colors. Okay? And then you're going to leave a nice big space here on your paper. All right? I do want you to enjoy this. I don't want to make this a heavy assignment. It will be graded, as most of ours are. So it is important that you do it. But I want you to have some fun with this, so we're not going to be too heavy on it. So I'm just going to ask for a picture. Not a lot of words on this. This is a picture that's going to describe what we did today and what you learned from today. Sorry about that. Media, it's everywhere. So when we work on our science experiment today, we're just going to draw a picture of what you learned from it, what you saw, what we did, what happened. If you choose to use words, that's a ramp up. Go ahead and ramp up. I love it when you challenge yourself. Okay, so you have a paper in your packet. Oh, I just dropped those on the floor. Oh, well, that's okay. I can get another one out of there. Sometimes that happens in science, but be very careful. You have a paper, it looks like this. It just gives you a little bit of an explanation of our science experiment today. This one is Fizzing Colors, the activity 1. It starts here, ends here. So what you always want to do is read the experiment all the way through. It's like a recipe. You could call it a science recipe. And it tells you exactly what you need to do, and what you should expect to see. So for our experiment today, if you're following along with me, it asks us to get some things from our science kit, and I've already pulled those aside. It asks us for our test tubes, 3 large test tubes. You can see these right here. Move them in front of you here with the test tube rack, and it's asking for some fizzing color tablets. I've got them right here. The last one I dropped on the floor, so I'll get another one out of the package for that. And what does it say here? Some water. I've got some water right here. Right here. We're going to do this together. So we read our experiment through. I hope you read it through first so that you'll know what we're going to do. I'm not going to take some time on video to do that. I'll allow you to do that on your own. Okay. So it says, work with your adult lab assistant to find a safe place to set up your color laboratory. You want to find a place where it's okay to spill a little. Well, this is my table. It's okay to spill a little, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to put down a towel. So here's a towel, and let's see, I'm moving my little test tubes over here. Put this on here. I'm going to put this here, and here are my test tubes again. Okay. Next, it says, fill some cups with water and set them aside for a moment. We've already done that. I've got it in my cup over there. And then it says, open the package of fizzing color tablets. There are 3 colors, blue, yellow, and red. Now this is where you get to come into my world a little bit because they look different colors to me. They don't exactly look yellow and blue and red. I'll show you what they look like. So this is blue. Blue. This one looks kind of blue to me. I'll go with that one. There's a blue. This one I'm guessing is going to be yellow since it's the lightest one. And this one is red. Now it looks purple to me, may look red to you, but I think this one's going to be red, so we'll go there. All right. Next, it says, fill each test tube about 3/4 of the way full with water and set them on your test tube rack. Okay. It looks like, if you can see my test tubes, it looks like they've already got a nice line here. Halfway up is when you take the test tube and you just cut it in half. That'd be about right here. 3/4 is a little higher than that. So it looks like they've given me a nice line here. So let's do that first. Let's fill our test tubes with water. I'm going to do this over the towel and be very careful. Perfect. There's one. It's a pretty cool science experiment. I'm glad we got the chance to get these kits. There's 2. Oh, that one's a little full, but I think it'll be okay. It said about. Perfect. There we go. So we'll set those right over here. Let's see what it says to do next. It says, and set them in your test tube rack. We got that. Put a blue tablet in one test tube, a red tablet in the second test tube, and a yellow tablet in the third. Okay. And then it says we're going to screw the lids on tightly so the water doesn't leak out. What happens? What happens is our question that we begin with. What happens? So let's do the blue in here and the red in here. Do the yellow in the middle. And it says to put the lids on tightly. That still looks purple to me, but if it's red, we'll go with red. It says, what happens? The tablets fizz, bubble, and move around and change color in the water as they disappear. Leave the colored water in the test tubes for your next experiment. If you look closely, let me get a little closer. You might be able to see down at the bottom, you see where that's kind of bubbling up there and making the water change colors. Let's look at the next one. Oh, I can see some bubbles rising in this one. Oh, that's pretty cool. You see that one? That's definitely yellow. A little easier to see the fizzy in that. Very good, very good. And the last one, let's see how red is doing. I don't see him fizzing as much. Well, there he is. There he's fizzing a little bit down there. And if I look at the color tablets at the bottom, it says I should see them disappear. They're fizzing. They're getting smaller. They're disappearing. Yellow's the easiest for me to see. Just makes me think of juice, and now I'm thirsty, but I definitely don't want to sample my science experiments. Never, never, never put any of this in your mouth. You want to keep safe. Safety is important when doing science. That's why we're always going to work together when we do our science experiments. So the next section says, how does it work? So let me explain this to you. You can read along with me on your page. Here's what it says. Your color tablets dissolved. This means that the water pulled them into tiny, tiny pieces and surrounded each little piece so that you can't see them. Even though you can't see them anymore, you know the pieces of the tablet are still there. How do you know that? Because the water changed color. Scientists would say that you dissolved the tablet or made a color solution. You have probably made solutions before. Have you ever stirred lemonade powder into water? You made a solution of lemonade. Wow, you are amazing. Don't let your adult assistants drink your solutions, though. I won't, I promise. Remember that all good scientists like you never eat their experiments. Right. Then it goes on to say, why does it fizz? When you put the tablets in water, you created a chemical reaction. This means that you made two things turn into two different things. Although it sounds like you did magic, you actually did something cooler than that. You did chemistry. In this case, you used water to change sodium bicarbonate, baking soda, and citric acid, found in citrus fruits and used in cooking, into salts and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is in the air all around you. In fact, it is what you exhale when you breathe. That's right, you make a chemical reaction with every breath. You are amazing. Since you are making air, scientists would say you are making a gas underwater. It makes bubbles, which wriggle to the top of the water and escape into the air. Well, there you go. There's our science experiment for the day. And you can see, I'll give you one last chance to see our color test tubes. Those tablets are dissolving. I can see those going down, down, down. And it says to keep these for our next experiment that we'll do next week. This one is called, let me look at my book. It's called Cross-Eyed Colors. So we'll work on this one next week. Until then, great job, scientists. I'm proud of you. Here's what I need you to write on your science experiment. It should have the title. You know I expect that title. And as always, I expect your name on this paper. I need to know this. This is our science experiment. It's called Fizzing Colors. I need a description or a picture to tell me what happened, what you saw, what you thought about our science experiment. All right, that's it for this Science Friday. I'll get in touch with you next Friday and we'll do another cool experiment called Crossing Colors. Until then, have a good day and happy Friday. It's Friday and a weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Take care.